Chaos and order, like two lovers in the night, two seeming enemies that actually complement each other if they would just let their egos get out of the way. Hey everybody, I'm Mystic Brew, founder of Return to Self, where I help you remember who you were before the world taught you who to be. And this is Hot Girl Math, where we're doing energetic equations, not your regular schmegular equations, fun equations, cosmic code equations, seeing the signs from the universe equations. Also, I know I'm giving 90s nostalgia, which let me tell you, big fan. If I could live in the 90s for the rest of my life, I would. And I probably will because I never actually left. But also, wearing a cap is not great for lighting. So we just turned her around. And now we're giving childhood memories. Anyway, for this episode, I obviously want to talk about chaos and order. But before we get into that, I wanted to share what even brought this to mind. This week, there was some significant news out of New York when it came to Mayor Zohran Mamdani, who you may know has caused quite a stir. Mainly because he's Muslim, which is, I want to say laughable, but it's not laughable because people are actually quite harmful with shit like that. But he is someone that no one saw coming, and he may be the answer. Some might say even the blueprint to show us the type of leadership that so many have claimed is not possible. And yet here we are. Before I continue, I just want to note, and if you have watched my work or followed me for a while, then this won't be anything new to you. I make a lot of analogies to dating and relationships when I try to explain energetics and the sort of relational dynamics of everything, because everything is relational, and dating and relationships is just so relatable. You'll know what I'm talking about when I put it in that way. And so we're going to do that again today, both with Mamdani and what he has done, but also on a grander scale. So the news story that I want to reference, and you may have heard about this already, is Mamdani balancing the $12 billion deficit without making the working class pay for it. Now, I have an ABC7 New York news article pulled up here just so we can get a quick review of what this story is. The article states, facing deficits exceeding $12 billion, among the largest since the Great Recession, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani announced on Tuesday that his administration had balanced the budget thanks to a combination of state support, new revenue, and belt tightening. Mamdani positioned the first budget of his administration, $124.7 billion for fiscal year 2027, as a major shift away from austerity while maintaining fiscal stability. The plan closes significant budget gaps without raising property taxes, cutting services, or tapping into reserve funds. Moves the administration says protect working class New Yorkers. It is evidence of a new era of government in our city, one that can balance both ambition and fiscal responsibility, Mamdani said. Now, it goes on to talk about some additional reforms and program efficiencies and revised debt payment schedules, which are expected to save even billions more. It talks about Albany playing a critical role in this huge success. And it also talks about how this restructuring has no impact on retirees and their benefits or current employees and their future benefits. Mamdani framed the budget as a rejection of past austerity measures and said, "We are restoring fiscal stability without asking working families to pay for a crisis they did not create." Well, what do you know? What do you know? Not only that, the budget includes new investments across key areas. Funding will expand libraries, parks, public transit, affordability programs, and education, and even childcare initiatives. Public safety spending will boost community-based programs, legal support, and emergency services staffing. Other priorities include safer streets, expanded sanitation efforts, worker protections, and mental health services. Now, going back to the dating analogy, there's a certain saying that's quite popular these days, and I'm going to be honest, I don't always agree with it, but in this case, I do. And it's the saying, if he wanted to, he would. Now, on a grand scale, is it always true? No, there's plenty of shit I want to do and don't. So I don't think it's a be all end all type of saying. But in this case, this is showing you what's possible. So when I say that Mamdani is the blueprint, this is what I mean. It takes us back to the observer effect. When we constantly see a specific way of being, a specific type of government, a specific way things are run, we can become very limited to the possibilities. That's why visionaries are so important within civilization, because you're able to see beyond your confinement, beyond your limits. Ooh, confirmation burp. It is important for those of us who are able to imagine, because imagination is God, according to Neville Goddard and some of the other folks who believe that as well, to be able to see beyond what we have allowed to be so. And when it comes to politics, I don't know about you, but a constant argument or rebuttal that I get anytime that I'm trying to share hope, share an idea for a better future, is that I'm being naive, that I'm talking about a fairy tale, that it's not possible, which again is very similar to dating, because when you are capable of experiencing, even if it's not in your physical reality, experiencing, visualizing, imagining a world, a relationship, a partner, a way of being that is better than what you have ever experienced, people will shoot you down. And they'll shoot you down not because they're right and you're being naive. They'll shoot you down because hope can be dangerous. We need to understand that people love to be sad. People cling to the discomfort. It's one of the paradoxes of this universe. People get really comfortable with the suffering. And there's an element around it being noble, that suffering is noble, life is hard, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be. So even in this case, we are seeing how a variable of change, which I talk about a lot when I talk about energy. Some of us are variables of change. Mamdani is one of them. He was put into an environment that was structured in a very particular way that did not leave a lot of room for people to experience something different, and showed you quite efficiently and quickly, I may add, what is possible. Now, again, who knows where it goes from here, but that's not our problem right now. Our problem is the present moment, because that's the only time that exists. And right now, what we are experiencing are a lot of people recognizing, oh shit, politicians can actually work for us. Yeah, no duh, that is literally their job. It's easy to forget that with the experiences that we've had. This is someone who is literally walking the talk about working for the people. Making sure that the place you live in is safe, is clean, and that you are provided for in the ways that you need. Not making you pay for the costly mistakes and flagrant indulgence of others. It's not your price to pay. So now what's going to happen is a domino effect. Once people observe this type of treatment, the standard has raised, the bar has raised, just like dating. This is like continuously accepting for so long bare minimum treatment, if that, let's be honest, because the bar is in hell. You accept the bare minimum. thinking that's as good as it's going to get. So you keep dating people that you know are not meeting your standards, but you lowered your standards because you convinced yourself that your standards were too high. You're asking for too much. That doesn't exist. If it didn't exist, if it was too high, if it was unattainable, you wouldn't want it. Your desire is proof. It is your spirit. It is your soul telling you this exists. The attraction is happening without the physical confirmation because it exists and it's magnetizing towards you. What you desire, what you see for yourself, what you want for your life is not coming from nowhere. It is coming from something beyond your physical awareness. It is coming from something deep inside of you knowing this exists. Otherwise, how could I even want something that doesn't exist? But if all you've ever experienced is less than, you start to rationalize, you start to find ways to cope with the fact that this is all you're getting. And it's hard sometimes. People are really good at convincing you that this is all you're going to get. And if you allow that to be true for you, it will be true for you. If you continuously allow yourself to believe this is the only type of partner I'm ever going to experience, this is the only type of relationship I'm ever going to have, guess what? Unconsciously, you will only seek out those types of people and relationships because you've already told yourself that this is all that's out there. And then maybe one day you experience something different. Expansion. What you perceive to be possible has just been moved beyond your limits. Now you're being shown, oh shit, my bare minimum was like not even bare minimum. It was underground. It was like beneath the level of even just common decency. Now the bar raises. And once the bar raises, you will no longer tolerate anything below that because you have just experienced what this is viscerally. Mind, body, and soul, you've experienced that energy. And when you experience that energy, there's no going back. There's no going back. That's like always ordering the salmon and then you finally decide, let me get that steak. You get the steak and you're like, fuck the salmon. Now I gotta have steak. You know what I'm saying? It's allowing yourself to upgrade without guilt. This is an example of holding our politicians and our government to a higher standard. They work for the people. And whether you want to admit it or not, they have reversed the energy for a really long time to make it seem like we work for them. That's not the case. It never was. This is what leadership looks like. This is what being a public servant looks like. This is what serving your people looks like. So now what we need to do is find the Mamdanis in every state. And they're out there. They are out there because there's people who haven't even been given the chance to show up in the ways that we need until the one starts. Domino effect. Now that you know that this is possible, you'll stop voting for people who aren't going to perform and show up and deliver like this. Enough of this. Show us. Do something. It's clearly possible. People have done it. So do it. Again, just like dating. Now, chaos and order comes into effect because it makes you question what perceived definitions and understanding you have around chaos and order. A lot of times we see chaos as this thing we try to avoid, just unnecessary drama, conflict, just all this energy that you don't want around you. Meanwhile, order is a little tempting. It's structure, it's organization, it is a level of efficiency that is stable and secure. That's nice. Some stability, some security. Listen, I'm a triple earth sign. I love me some stability. And yet, something that we need to question. Order is formed under control. There is a level of control that needs to be had in order for order to continue. Are you following? So those who promote order, those who fight for order, you must also question who that order benefits. Because order stays the same. It is a fixed environment. That's what makes it so structured. But if the order is only serving the few and not the many, if the order is manipulative and actually a guise to maintain systems and structures that do not serve the people, that's not order. That's just a fixed environment, a fixed system that is benefiting the few, and so they want it to continue under the guise of justice, under the guise of making sure that we stay in this place, because without it, it'll be chaos, and chaos is bad. Actually, chaos is the creation of all things. And so should we ever decide to change, which is the only guarantee in life, personally, professionally, societally, collectively, in every level, layer, dimension, whatever it is, chaos is necessary when change is necessary. And that chaos is simply collapsing the structures into a void space. Void meaning anything is possible. When there's nothing, there's also everything. When you don't know where to go, you have every path available to you. Chaos is simply the doorway to that experience so that you can build something new. Order collapses, chaos ensues. Chaos is not always bad. It gets tricky. But in this situation, what we are experiencing is a honest reflection of the order that we have supported and continued to keep alive that is actually not rooted in truth and justice. It is an ongoing system that has been perpetuated over time by those who gain power from it, who are benefited by it, with a very great PR mask to make us believe this is as good as it's going to get, you guys. Like, you should be grateful for this. You should be grateful that you have this. Again, it's like that narc partner who treats you like shit, but anytime you threaten to leave, anytime you ask for more, anytime you stand your ground, they're like, how dare you? Look at everything I've done for you. You're going to talk back. You're going to ask for more. You're going to say that's not enough. You could be out on the street right now. No, it's not good enough. And you got to be okay with saying that and standing on it. It's not good enough. Because I've seen what's possible. And I want that. I want that treatment. If someone else can do that, it's available to me too. Otherwise, I would not even be shown it. That's what we're experiencing right now on a level that is beyond personal, but again, maybe also personal. It is breaking away from the rigid, false beliefs of what is available to you when it comes to your safety, your stability, your security, your pleasures, your joy, your experience of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You were sold a false way of being in order to support other people's lives. People who would spend your money for their own benefit. People who would rather go do their extravagant things and whatever else they want to do off of the money you worked for. Whether or not it creates stress and instability for you. You can't afford your groceries. You can't make rent. You can't find someone to take care of your children because you have to go work 60 hours a week just to make shit even. Oh, that's so sad. Meanwhile, they're over here spending your money. We deserve better. You deserve better, sweetie. There is a life that is available to you, but it will require chaos. And not in the sense of, again, the commonly perceived sense of chaos. Chaos in the sense that the order that you have become comfortable with will no longer be there. Because it was never good to begin with. It was faulty foundation. If the foundation is not solid, it doesn't matter what you build on top of it. You can build a castle, it will crumble. It's not sustainable. We're experiencing that with this country. Let's not even get into the karma and the shadow work that's coming within this country because of the way it was founded, because of who was sacrificed for it, because of the energy attached to those who built this country off the backs of people who still to this day are treated like second-class citizens. Karma does not forget. It is a level of consequence that will never miss a name, never miss a face, and always be on time. And perhaps that time is now. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Right now, all I know is that we are being given a perspective so that we can perceive things differently, so that we stop accepting what is not tolerated. Raise the bar. Don't be afraid to ask for more. Just like in your relationships, just like in your friendships, with your family, if you are not being met with the level of energy, care, love, intention that you know you want, that you know is possible, and that you know you would bring to that situation, then why are you settling for less? And there's so many people on here talking in and out about settling for less in relationships. Me included. I was writing about relationships for over a decade. But let's not forget that it is a reflection of everything else in your life, including your government, including the country, including the people that you vote into office who are now supposed to serve you, supposed to make sure you're taken care of. Do not forget that. I hope that there is someone who is ready to be that person for us, as well as all the other states, of course. But I'm going to need y'all to step up. If this is you, if you know you have that calling, that anointing in your life, you know you're meant to run for public office, you know you're meant to serve the people, and you know that you would do this type of work, you're bringing this energy, I hope you're ready to go for it. I hope you are ready to go for it because it's your time. When we keep hearing about people talking about, oh, the new earth is going to require the leaders that were, hidden for a while or put off to the side or whatever. This is what we're talking about. This is the energy that is about to take the lead. That's why they didn't want this man to be in this role, because what's about to happen because of what we are experiencing, it's a house of cards. That was a club with a certain type of player that was allowed to be in the club. Somehow, some way, God's will, We got a different type of energy in the house, that variable of change that I was talking about. You have a glass of water, one drop of something can change the entire environment. That's what's going on here. Now, who holds these types of people accountable? You and I, the people. The people have to demand. The people have to be the ones to show those in office what is allowed and what is not. Again, they work for you, not the other way around. So all of this work, all of this shadow work about releasing these limiting beliefs, these assumptions, these interpretations that continuously allow you to settle for less than what is out there because you have convinced yourself that this is as good as it's going to get. This is as good as I'm going to get. This is all I deserve. This is all. That's bullshit. You know that. That's why you're angry. That's why you have resentment. That's why you might talk shit to other people who try to tell you otherwise because you don't even want to believe it. How dare they believe that? How dare they speak like that? I won't even allow myself to believe that. Well, maybe start. It's not a fairy tale. This isn't even magic or anything. This is how it's supposed to be. That's what I need you guys to understand. This is the neutral part of it. It's not even like going above and beyond. This is what it's supposed to be like. But again, if all you've ever experienced is energy that drains you, that manipulates you, that betrays you, that controls you, that gaslights you, that takes advantage of you, this is like, whoa, Prince Charming. What? Meanwhile, all they're doing is respecting you and being honest with you and being intentional and showing up. That is the bare minimum, friends. So let's raise the bar. Yes, both within your relationships, with yourself, with your governments, with your experience of this life. And stop settling. Because better is out there. And it's time we got to know it. I'll see you next week.